So we are going to walk through how to submit this assignment because I graded 8 of them last night and all 8 of you guys got a 0 because you didn't follow directions. So we're going to, again, walk through this step by step so that everybody gets credit for their work. So give me a thumbs up when you are essentially on your modules. All right, please click on the mystery picture fraction 9/29. Now we are going to read the directions because this is the first problem that happened with everybody. It says you'll be uploading the Google slide sheet, whatever you want to call it, with your solved picture on it. How many of you guys took screenshots of your answers yesterday and submitted that? Everybody, almost everybody. So where does it say take a screenshot of your answers? Does it? So why are we doing these things? Second, you will also have to upload a picture of your work. How many of you guys didn't upload a picture of your work? Okay. How many of you guys only uploaded a picture of your work? Silas, raise your hand. You only uploaded a picture of your work. Raise your hand. Yes, you. Yes, you. Well, one of the Silases did. I don't know who. One of them. Where does it say only upload a picture of your work? So how many of you guys actually even read this? But you haven't submitted yours yet, have you? Okay, so you read it. Did you say, I'm not exactly sure what to do? What? And you didn't do anything? No way. So sometimes, guys, if you don't know how to do something, don't do it. Because it just aggravated me because I went in, graded 8 people, wasted my time, and gave everybody a 0. Because you just didn't wait. Right? You did the work. I know you did the work based off of the screenshots I got. So there are a couple of different things. The biggest thing is if you don't upload a picture of your work, you don't get credit. Second biggest thing, if you have any questions, please ask me before Friday. I've had one person come in and say, Miss Kenny, and I said, don't need to worry about it, we're going to talk about it today. Okay? If you do not know how to upload the Google Sheets, it is really, really easy. Who has their homework open? You have it open? All right, so most of you guys are seeing this, right? It's way bigger than your actual screen. Sorry. It's way bigger than your actual screen. So everybody go to your assignment. There's a Zoom, and it's at 100%. It's because you're going back into the assignment every time. Don't go back into the assignment, go to Google. So how many of you guys have also gone in and had to restart every single time? If you go into Google, rather than going into the actual assignment, it should all be saved. So try to go into Google Drive. What? Hold on one second. Let me. Right. All right. So let me see if I can share this screen real quick with you guys. So what I will do is I'll show you. It should be. So when you are here, let's say that this is mine. If you go to this percentage right here, and it's your zoom, so right now it's zoomed at 100%. So if you click on it and pick 75, what does it do to your whole screen? So click on that and pick 75. Can you now see the picture and your answers? Okay. Who cannot get there yet? Well, this is fine, because you can actually. So what do you need, sweetie? You're on the wrong spot. Go to where we were yesterday. Go to your Google Drive. Why are you talking? Stop. I'll be there in a second. Go to your Google Drive. I didn't say go to Google Sheets. Go to your Google Drive. Click on that. Should be in your Google. Click on it. So, see your percentage? You can actually go a little bit smaller. So you might have to, depending on how it's looking on your screen. Some of you guys might be able to take your two fingers and zoom, like hold them together and it zooms it out, making it smaller. Some of you guys are gonna have to do the 75 option. If 75 is still too big, click on it and go to 50. The point is, I need to be able to see your picture and your answers. Get to the assignment now. Right now, son. That is not the assignment, baby. You have no access to your iPad in my class anymore. You don't follow. Alright, now, the easiest way to submit this is to take a screenshot. If you are not done, please don't take a screenshot. But if you're finished, take a screenshot. Now, if you go back to your assignment, this is where you're then going to do your submit or start assignment. You're gonna upload a file and you're gonna pick your picture. Choose file, and then you pick a picture. You're gonna click on the picture of your picture and your answers. That will be the first one. So let's just say this is it. So I'm gonna hit open. It's gonna be there as a picture. Then you're gonna add another file. So you're gonna click on that one, bless you. Upload file, choose file, and that's gonna be the picture of your work. Does that make sense? So you are essentially uploading two pictures. Screenshotting is probably, for my class, going to be the easiest way, because there's not a ton of things we're going to be adding, but what you are going to add, if it's hard or you don't understand how to do a Google slide ad, whatever, we'll figure it out from there. But for this assignment, take a screenshot of your work and take a picture of your work, or take a screenshot of the actual assignment. So the screenshot, what do we say? You're taking a screenshot of this, okay? When you're done. And then you're taking a picture of your work. Does that make sense? So you're uploading two pictures. All right. Close your iPads. What? Is that the one we just were looking at? Then I don't know either. I don't. All right, go ahead. Get out your math notebooks. Do you need another day of sack lunch? Then stop. Up and up to the next blank page. Alright, you are going to need some kind of color. Doesn't really matter what it is. Need a highlighter from the marker for the plan. All right, on the next blank, left page, you need to write dividing fractions by whole numbers, whole number notes, sorry. And today's date, which is 9/27. And then get the sheet out that I just passed out to you guys. So iPads are closed, you don't need them right now. Alright, how many of you guys remember learning anything about dividing fractions last year? Alright, so we're gonna go at the first part of this lesson is using tape diagrams. Tape diagrams, sometimes it really clicks for some of us and sometimes it makes absolutely no sense. So if it doesn't make sense, remember, it's just a strategy. And then get off of your iPad right now. Put it away. Lord have mercy, son. So we're going to use tape diagrams for the first section of this. Then we're going to do a thing called keep, change, flip. How many of you guys remember hearing keep, change, flip last year?
Yes.
Okay. So again, I think we'll remember more once we get into it. But I always try to give you a couple different strategies to help you do the best that you can. Alright, so looking at the first part of this, the question is, for example, when it says how many blanks are in 2. So we're going to start with 1/4. So how many 1/4 are in 2? So if I look at one whole, how many pieces am I dividing this one whole up into based off of my fraction? 4. So do the best you can with making this as even as possible. It does not have to be perfect. All right, and then inside of those, we're going to label them 1/4. That looks like a whole lot of little lines. Sorry, guys. And then, so same thing over here. For the second whole, how many fourths are in that whole? Like 4. I'll try to do a better job. All right, so if I colored in and I counted every time I colored in a 4th, how many fourths do I end up with? Raise your hand. How many fourths? So if you count how many times you color in a fourth, how many do you have? Gabriel? No. You have 8. You have 8 total 1/4 in 2 holes. So if you do 2 divided by 1/4, you end up with 8 as your answer. Now that seems pretty easy, right? Like, that's a really good strategy to use. Pretty self-explanatory. But then, what happens when you get really big numbers and really small fractions? Like, what if you had to do 1/16 in one hole? How many little things do you have to draw?
15.
16.
I've drawn line, 15 lines.
15 lines, but you have to fit in 1/16 16 times, right? So it's just a cluster of numbers and lines and everything, right? So it probably would not be that neat. So sometimes the strategy is great. Sometimes the strategy is not going to be so good. All right, let's look at the next one. So now we're doing 3/4 divided by 2. So we have 3/4 divided by 2 wholes. So this changes it a little bit. And it says when 3/4 is divided into 2 groups, how large is each group? So now you have to figure out, okay, well, what am I breaking this whole thing up into? Because this is one whole, so I have to actually break these fourths into something as well. Anybody know what we're going to break them into?
Halves.
Not halves. Nope. Nope. We're going to break them into 1/8. Okay, so go ahead and break each one of these into 1/8. Bless you. So technically, how many 1/8 do we have in 3/4? How many 1/8? So let's go ahead and color it and figure it out, right? So how many 1/8 did I color? Gracie. 6. All right, but is 6/8 my answer? No, because I'm dividing 3/4 by what?
2.
So then how do I figure out how many groups of 2 I have in this? 6/8 divided by 2 is going to give you 3/4. So we already know that, right? So you have to essentially figure out your 2 groups. So this is one group, and this is another group. Because you're dividing that by 2. So how many are in one group? I know, and this is where tape diagrams takes a mean left, right? Because at this point you're like, this is just stupid. Why can't we just do 3/4 divided by 2? That's why some strategies are great and some strategies are just absolutely the most confusing thing ever. So, how many are in one group? How many are in one group? Sincere. Huh? I can't hear what you're saying. I don't know what you're saying. Speak up, son. 3? 3 are in one group, but that's not right. What is our fraction in one group? Look at the fractions, because it's not 3 holes that are in that group. How many are in that group? Sincere. No. Ansley.
3.
3/8. So your answer to this one is 3/8. Now, we're going to use the same one, this 3/4 divided by 2, and we're going to do keep, change, flip with it. So everyone, just get in your notebook at the top of your page, wherever that is. And I want you to do 3/4 divided by 2. And we talk about keep, change, flip. What that means is you're keeping the first one. And yes, I want you to write this all the way down your paper just like I did. So you keep the first fraction. Everybody should be writing this. Nobody should just be sitting.
What's the thing before that?
Keep first fraction. Then you change to multiplication. And then you flip second fraction. All right, stand up when you have this written down. So your KCF stands for each part of your fraction dividing whole numbers, mixed numbers, other fractions. All right, so if I'm keeping the first fraction, when I rewrite this, I'm still gonna have 3/4. Then it tells me to change division to multiplication. So I change that. And then it tells me to flip my second fraction. Well, 2 is a whole number, so what do we first have to write 2 over to start with? Angel. Over 1. So technically this becomes 2 over 1, so then this is going to be 1 over 2. And then from here, what do we do with our fractions? What do we do with our fractions based off of what that says? Joshua. You're just multiplying. When you multiply fractions, you multiply straight across. So 3 times 1 is 3, and 4 times 2 is 8. So we got the same answer as our crazy tape diagram thing that nobody actually understood, right? Because let's be honest, how many of you guys understood the tape diagram? I did it. I don't understand the tape diagram.
Yeah, I'm never knowledge.
Okay? Shh. So like I said, sometimes your tape diagram is going to be fantastic. It's going to make a lot of sense, right? And sometimes you're going to be like, what in the world? Huh? Okay? So the strategy you're going to see me use the most when we're dividing fractions is keep, change, flip. This is also called finding the reciprocal. That's a mathematical terminology. But so we're going to use those great math words. All right, so let's slide down back on our paper. And let's look at number 1. And it says, use your understanding of division to model the division problems. Now, you have tape diagrams. Do you have to use those? No. Where's your pass? Don't sit down and not bring me your pass. Come on. You don't have to use those if you don't want to. If you want to use them, then you're more than welcome to. But you do not have to. Here, get your paper. what we are gonna do, what you're gonna see me do is I'm gonna just do the keep, change, flip. Okay? So down here, we're doing 5 6 divided by 2. So I'm gonna have 5 6 divided by 2. I'm gonna rewrite this because I need to do what with my 2? What do I need to do with my 2 before I can actually start? Kira. Yes, which means I have to put the 2 over what? Okay, so now this becomes 5 6 divided by 2 over 1. I'm going to write my keep, change, flip underneath so I know what to do with each part. Are you going to focus? No? Cool. Alright, so now I have 5 6 times 1 over 2. You have a question or you got an answer? Okay, hold on. Hold on, baby. Hold on. Alright, is there anybody who is confused at this point? Why? What are you confused about? Okay, so you keep the first fraction. You're changing your operation from division to multiplication, and you're flipping the second fraction. So it's always keep the first one, change your operation, flip your second one, no matter what. It's a process you're going to use for every division problem that has fractions in it. And then you just multiply straight across. So what part are you not understanding? I'm just trying to understand because you can't not understand everything. There's got to be a specific part. Guys, I can't help, I don't understand. Like, there's got to be a specific part that we're not understanding. So you need to figure it out and say, okay, I don't understand this part. If you don't understand the whole thing, it's just, this is the second one technically we're doing. So your understanding level is probably not 100% right now. It might be 75. We're gonna keep going today. Just follow along. Stop playing with everything, follow along. Alright, so when we multiply fractions and we multiply straight across, we have 5 times 1, which gives me, what's 5 times 1? 5. And then 6 times 2 gives me what? 12. Alright, so when 5 6 is divided into 2 groups, we end up with 5/12 is the size of each group. Sorry. Okay, so make sure you have this and make sure you fill that out. Alright, the next one is 2 divided by 1/3. So again, down here I'm going to write 2 divided by 1/3. What do I have to do before I can start dividing? Before I start dividing, what do I have to do? Alex? No, before that. I got to do something before the keep, change, flip. What do I have to do before the keep, change, flip? Summer? Do a what? Put a 1 under the 2. Because it's a whole number and we cannot divide a whole number by a fraction. Alright, so then from here I keep, change, flip. So what does that mean for my first fraction? Someone tell me how to write my new problem essentially. Angel.
The 2 over 1
Times what?
3 over 1.
3 over 1. Okay, so I kept the first one, I changed my operation to multiplication, and I flipped my second one. When we multiply straight across, we end up with 2 times 3, which gives me what? 6. And 6 over 1 means 6. So this is my answer. So how many 1/3 are in 2? Now, if you are a little unsure of this process, any work, any homework, anything you are doing, I want you to write the KCF. underneath your original problem. The reason I want you to do that is because KCF, if you write it, you're going to start saying keep, change, flip, keep, change, flip, and it will naturally get into your head. So then you won't have to write it anymore because you're just going to naturally know, oh, I'm dividing these two fractions. I'm going to keep this one, change this, and flip that. Okay? So let's slide up to the right side. Sorry, did everybody get this? Okay, raise your hand if you are still writing. Okay, so we're good? All right, so slide up to the next side. And this is kind of the notes for keep, change, flip. So you have to change your mixed number to an improper fraction. You cannot multiply mixed numbers. Or sorry, you cannot divide mixed numbers. So you're going to rewrite, this says the first number, or first fraction, but I'm going to write first or second fraction because sometimes your second fraction is going to be your mixed number that you're going to have to change. Okay, so it could be your first or your second fraction. Then, what do we change our division sign to? Raise your hand. Based off of saying keep, change, flip. What do we change our division sign to? Isaac? Multiplication. And then we have to find, remember I said that weird word, the reciprocal, which is also just flipping your second fraction. You multiply and then you simplify. All right, so at the top of your page, I want you to write a K, a C, and an F. Mason, right side. Put your book on the table and put your legs down and write. All right, raise your hand and tell me what the K stands for. What does the K stand for? All right, Cannon. Keep what? First. Not fraction. Okay? So K stands for keep the first fraction. What does the change stand for? What does what does the C stand for? Gabriel. Nope. What does the change stand for? Christian, what is change, or what does the C stand for? Okay. Change to multiplication. And then what does the F stand for? What does the F stand for? BK. Flip the second fraction. All right, so with your marker, your crayon, whatever you're using, I want you to highlight the K and the K. I want you to highlight the C and the C, and I want you to highlight the F and the F. Okay, so you're, excuse me. Again, this is all, like, you're gonna hear me say this so much in the next couple of days, you're gonna be like, Miss Kendi, please don't ever say that again. Like, you're not even gonna wanna eat at KFC because you're gonna think keep, change, flip instead. I promise you. Yes.
Last year, Miss Warner had a dance for the KCF day.
Yeah, I don't dance.
And she had everybody do it at the end of
Yeah,
the day.
we don't do that here.
And she'd always have run with solo.
Yeah, no. All right, so we're gonna keep moving. All right. We are now going to practice this. We're gonna do the first one on our own. Second one you guys are gonna do as a group. Third one you're gonna do independently. All right. So looking at the first one, we have 6 divided by 3/4. So what do I have to do with my 6 before I can even get started with anything else? What do I have to do? What do you have to do to your 6? It's a whole number. How do we make a whole number a fraction? Over 1. So I'm going to do 6 over 1 divided by 3/4. Underneath that, I'm going to write K, C, F. If it will focus. Nope, cool. I hate this thing. It's because there's too much light in the room. Just wait. It's probably about as good as we're gonna get. So from here, raise your hand and tell me, what is my new problem gonna look like? All right, Silas. You gotta speak up, baby. I can't hear anything you're saying. Okay. Times 4 over 3. So 6 over 1 times 4 over 3. We are multiplying straight across. All right, when I multiply 6 times 4, raise your hand. Tell me, what do you get when you multiply 6 times 4? I'm looking for new friends. Kira. What'd you say? 24. And then when I multiply 3 times 1, I get 3. Now, this is an improper fraction. But this is one of those improper fractions that I'm not going to make you go over and do your division, long division. We should be able to look at this and say 24 divided by 3. Raise your hand, gives me what? Cannon. 8. So my answer to this one is 8. Okay? Alright. Thumbs up when you are good to go. Reagan, slide over to Mercedes because you guys are going to work on the next one together. Alright, so you are only doing number 4 together as a group. When you are finished, stand up. If you're standing, you're not talking. Stop talking. Like, seriously, you're not even paying attention. When you're done, stand up. Do not talk. That lets me know we can move on. Go ahead. Work. X out of it or submit it?
Accidentally exited out while I was
I don't like to do it. I don't understand it. I'm not stupid. I don't like to do it. I should just come home like.
What were the instructions? If you are standing, are you talking?
No.
Then stop. Zachary, you shouldn't be standing if the rest of your group is not. Work with your group. Joshua, put the paper on the table so you actually can understand what you are writing. Stop. Y'all, stop. What do you not understand about stop? Since you are hard of hearing, do you need silent lunch? Then stop, son. Whatever you're doing, stop. What? The what? You're gonna miss this. So make a decision. Have silent lunch or sit through this and then you can go to the bathroom. You know your body. We don't do bathrooms in the middle of instruction. I'm sorry. Are you guys done? Stand up. All right, have a seat. What do we need to do when we're doing this? 2/5 divided by 3. What does 3 have to become? Zachary?
1/3.
No. What does 3 have to become? Like, huh? 3/1. All right, then we do keep, change, flip. So we have 2/5. What do we do with our division? Everly?
We change it to multiplication.
And then what do we do with our second fraction? Mason, what do we do with that second fraction? And it becomes? Look at your paper. What does it become? Someone in his group help him. What does it become? Baby, what does it become? If you flip it, what does it become? Thank you. All right. From here, you just multiply straight across. 2 times 1 gives you 2, and 5 times 3 gives you. All right, the next one, number 5, you were doing on your own. Be careful of that mixed number. Go to the bathroom, Jerry. On your own, Everly. Stop talking. Lord, children. All right. With this one, what do you have to do with that mixed number? So what do you have to do with... Both of y'all have silent lunch. Huh?
Out with a pencil. A sharp pencil.
Alex, go outside since you don't know how to be around people today. Outside, just sit at that desk. Alright, what do we do with this mixed number before we get started? Because can we divide or multiply a mixed number? We cannot. Alright, Blake, what do we have to do? Huh? Alright, to a... What type of fraction? Okay. Tell me how to convert it. Huh?
I don't know how to say it.
Okay. Samantha.
Make it improper.
Okay, how?
By I learned it way that you multiply 2 times 4 and then add it to the numerator.
Right. So it's the whole number times your denominator whole number, times your denominator. You get that answer and you add your numerator. So now we have 11 fourths divided by 5. What do we have to do with that 5? Christian. And how do we do that? Huh? Over 1. Then I'm going to do keep, change, flip. So then I have 11 fourths times 1 over 5, which gives me 11 20ths. And that is the answer. How many of you guys got 11 20ths? Okay. Alright, slide down to this bottom part where there's these little speech bubble thing, dot bubbles, whatever you want to call them. It says, as you divide fractions in real world situations, consider asking yourself the following questions to guide your thinking and to help you understand the situation. What is being split up? What value represents the number of groups, and what value represents the size of the groups? And then the last one, does your solution make sense in the context of the situation? All right, so let's look at this problem down here. All right, it says Kayla works at a pizza place. The tomato sauce can contains 14 cups of sauce. If each medium pizza uses 3/5 cups of tomato sauce, how many medium pizzas can Kayla make with one of the cans? All right, so what's important in the first sentence? Anything? Anything important? In the fact that she works at a pizza shop? No, nothing's important in there. What about the second sentence? What's important in there? Drake?
The 14. It contains 14 cups.
Yes. So it contains 14 cups. All right. What about the first half of the sentence? Silas? So medium pizza uses 3/4 of a cup, and then obviously, how many pizzas can she make with one can? So, what I know. So what's the first thing that we know based off of what we just highlighted? What is the first thing that we know? Gabriel. So 14 cups of sauce. Okay? What's the next thing that we know that we highlighted? What's the next thing that we know that we highlighted, Christian? So 3/5 cups of sauce for mid pizza. Okay? Thumbs up when you have that written down. Thumbs up when you have this written down. All right. What we need to know. So what we need to know is our question. So we need to know how many medium pizzas can she make with 1 can of sauce. And yes, I abbreviated that a little bit, mainly because I can't fit it all in there. All right, now, what is our problem going to look like? So what do you think our problem is going to look like? Ansley? Yes. So 14 divided by 3/5. All right, solve your problem and do your work here and write your answer in the solution. Stand up when you have this done. All right. So when you do 14 divided by 3/4, what's the first thing we have to do before we get started? BK, what do we have to do with that 14 before we get started?
Put it over on 1.
Okay. Bless you. So 14 over 1 divided by 3/5. I'm going to keep, change, flip. So I end up with 14 over 1 times 5 over 3. When I do 14 times 5, what do I get? Raise your hand. Isaac. 70. And then when I do 1 times 3, obviously I get 3. 70 divided by 3. 70 divided by 3. Sincere? I can't hear anything you're saying. 1/3? No, you do not get one. 23 and 1/3. All right. Now, the question is asking how many medium pizzas can Kayla make with 1 can of tomato soup sauce? So, what is my answer? What is my answer to that question? Samantha? 23. Why are we not including the 1/3?
Because technically that's not a whole pizza.
Right. It is asking for how many medium pizzas. So she can make 23 medium pizzas. All right, go ahead, get this glued in on your notes page for today. So fold it in half. Make sure though that you guys don't cover up this part. So if that means that you have to only glue down some of it, that's fine. Just make sure you can see the part that we started with. Alright, when you have that glued in, flip your notebook over. Or sorry, turn to the next right page. And you need to title it Homework 9/27. Your homework.
Right page?
No, you should be on the right page to this. So you started on the wrong page today. So like, you should have started on the left side. So essentially, do me a favor. Tear that page out. Don't crumble it up, just tear it out. Open up your notebook flat. Turn your page. You're gonna glue that page in on that left side. Does that make sense? So you don't lose the work. All right, so again, you should be left side is your notes, right side is your homework. Your homework tonight is this sheet that I just passed out. If you feel like you can write it neatly, I don't have a problem with you doing your work on this page. If you're like, nope, I don't write small enough, I don't write neat enough, you need to just simply glue this at the top, flip your page up, and do it underneath. Does that make sense? Okay? I'm leaving it up to you as to which one you decide to do. So for the remainder of the class period, you are working on this. If you have questions or you need help, please come and ask. This is your opportunity.